Good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Hackbarth again, one of the elders here at Grace Lutheran. If you remember a while ago, we talked about superheroes. That was fun. And then a couple weeks back, we talked about monuments. Well, today I'd like to talk about the divine call. And this is going to be part of the Sunday school lesson that you guys hear today based on 1 Samuel chapter 3. And essentially what you have is Samuel hears a call and he thinks it's Eli, and it's not Eli. And so a couple of times this happens, he hears this call. And finally Eli says, you know what? Next time you hear the call, just simply answer, here I am. And so that's what you guys are going to be studying in the lesson today. But what does this have to do with the divine call? Well, I think these scripture passages give us a clear indication of what that looks like for our pastors today. For example, Pastor Allen. And as you guys know, he's an interim pastor. And so we're kind of working toward here at Grace calling our next permanent pastor. And so in that process, as a church, we're praying a lot. And I'm sure the pastor that's out there is praying a lot about us. And eventually what we'll do is we'll extend what's called a divine call. And essentially that was kind of like, God calling out to Samuel saying, come help me. I need your help. And so we're going to get into that process. And when that pastor is eventually called, what you're going to find is we'll have an ordination service. And an ordination service is where we give all the power, basically, of the church to do sermons and the word and the sacraments, baptisms and communion and things like that. We're going to give that power over to the pastor to do that, perform those services for our church. And usually what a church will do is give the pastor a stole. And if you look to my right and my left, what you're going to notice is there's a white and a blue stole. And these are called, or part of the vestments that a pastor might wear. You'll notice that the colors will differ, but they'll also match the paraments, which are the pieces of fabric that you'll find on the pulpit or the lectern or the altar, all of those different church words that we're talking about today. The stole, though, is that symbol of the ordination. It's the symbol of the church telling the pastor that he can do these jobs for the church. That's the pastor taking care of our spiritual needs here on earth. And Jesus always takes care of our spiritual needs and our physical needs. Not only do we have food and water and clothes and shelter and all those things that we need physically, but also he provides for our spiritual needs and does that through not only our pastors that we're called to serve, but also through our parents and our grandparents and our teachers. And so along those lines, I also want you to understand that we too are called to serve. Maybe not necessarily in the divine call that a pastor might receive, but definitely we're called to serve. If you remember Jesus, when he was on earth here, he said, I've come to fulfill all the laws, but I want you to follow these too. I want you to love me and love others. And realistically, what he's asking us to do is to love him by loving others. So today, when you are reading about Samuel and learning about Samuel and the call, I want you to also understand that you are all given a call in a certain sense to serve Jesus. So listen hard, learn well, and I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.